Good morning everyone, my name is Michelle. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another video. It's Saturday morning, it's nice but it's very windy, so if you hear nature, well, you know, that's what it is. So I'm recording this on the 23rd of April and I'm taking you down to these trees for a reason. Take a good look at them. So these trees drop their leaves in winter and they're just about starting to leaf up, but there's certainly not a terribly good leaf coverage. But I live in the northwest of England, and in the last few days the temperatures have been around 17-18 degrees C at their highest. It's 9 degrees C as I record this. Why am I telling you this? Well, keep listening. So I've got a few things to talk about today, and I guess it's kind of one of those fact-checking videos that some people really like, but some people don't. Some people think I'm arrogant and patronising when I fact-check, but I'm sorry guys, that's just me. I want facts to be right wherever it's possible. We don't have many facts in the Summer Wells case. I think the facts we do have, you know, need to be stated, and if they need to be stated again and again and again, well, that's what I'll do. So the first thing I want to talk about is the milk jugs video. Yes, I know, again, I'll be very brief. So last night my time, I posted another video. I posted one in the morning, well, early afternoon for me, my usual video, but I did a little extra video. It's only about 6 minutes long. It's worth a watch because I just had some thoughts about how can we prove when the milk jugs video was taken. We don't have access to the metadata like law enforcement do, so law enforcement will know this. But because I don't have access to the metadata, then I've got to use some good old detective work. So I had three things. The leaves on the trees, as you see the camera panning round onto Candus. People in Tennessee and surrounding states have told me that it looks more like June than April, because the claim has been recently that the milk jugs video wasn't taken on the 15th of June, it was taken sometime in April, because people have allegedly seen it before on Candus's social media, but she since took it down. Well, I'd never seen it and I've seen no proof of it, so I had to do what I can to try to find an approximate date for it. So Candus is wearing, I call it a vest top, that's what we call them in the UK. I've got some vest tops, but I wouldn't wear them in 18-19 degree weather, but that's just me. But the thing that nailed it for me was Candus's hair growth, because hair growth doesn't lie. Hair grows on average about 1/2 inch per month. I guess some people's will grow slightly less and some slightly more. That's an average. My hair grows like you would not believe. It really does. But go to the last part of that video. The whole thing's only 6 minutes, but go to the last part of that video and see what I said about Candus's hair length in various months based on pictures on her social media. I think that nails it for me, that picture was in June, not April. Now obviously I can't tell you what day in June it was. You know, there's 14 other days before the 15th that it could have been, but I think we've nailed it that it is actually June. So go and watch that video if you haven't seen it. And if you only watched the first part about the leaves, then perhaps watch it again and watch the part I talked about hair length. Alright, second thing. Overnight my time, there's been some reports that there's a dead dog down on the Wells. I think it must be on Ben Hill Road, near the driveway, on or near the Wells property. Now it's Bullhorn Betty that put this out, and she's visibly upset in her video. I don't think she's posted this just for views. She does look visibly upset. So unless she's as good an actor as Candus, then I believe her. I believe her that she's seen a dead dog. However, the Hawkins County Humane Society have posted on their Facebook group a message to YouTubers regarding a certain family. So I think we know who that family is. And they said that they took several dogs in and rehomed them. They were in good health. I think that possibly this isn't one of the Wells dogs. It's just a random stray dog that has got hit by a car and unfortunately died. Candus and Dawn have both said in the past that, you know, the dogs that find their way onto their property tend to have been strays and they just kind of stick around because they get fed. So although the Humane Society's post does not definitively prove that this dead dog wasn't one of Candus's dogs, you know, however sad it is to see a dead dog, I don't know, these things happen, guys. It's sad, it's very sad. But let's just keep an open mind that this may well not be one of Candus's dogs. It has occurred to me, you know, who's looking after the dogs, at least who's feeding the dogs now. And that is still a concern to me. I hope that Candus has arranged for the dogs that are still on the property. I don't think there's as many dogs as there used to be, but wasn't there a litter of puppies recently? So, you know, numbers will perhaps be going up again. Hopefully somebody is looking out for those dogs when Candus is away. Grandma is now allegedly in Illinois visiting family. She did say she was going in April. So I don't think this is a big fallout between Candus and Grandma. I think this is more you know, one of those times she goes. Certain times of year she goes out of state, out of Tennessee, visits family and then comes back. So Candus is on her own, completely on her own, on the property. So if she's away, you know, visiting a friend as she's been doing, or allegedly she's at an Upchurch concert today, or last night, I don't know whether that's true or not, but allegedly that's where she is. So who's feeding the dogs when they're away? I mean, does she just leave a pile of food out for them? Maybe. And, you know, these dogs, they're not cosseted pets, are they? They are used to kind of being out and about. So anyway, that's just an update on the dogs. So yeah, I'm concerned. Let's just abide by what the Humane Society says. I'm assuming they're a relatively small association in Hawkins County, so let's not bug them anymore, I think is just my advice. They're well aware of the situation. I want to pick up on what I ended with in yesterday's video, the main video, not the small one, and that is the two theories that I think are best fits. Come on, Tilly, this way. The two theories that are the best fits for the information that we've got available. Now bear in mind, we have very few absolute facts. The facts we think we have get disputed, like the milk jugs video has been disputed this week. I've always assumed that the milk jugs video was taken at 3:09, as Candus told Unmasked, but I acknowledge that that's just Candus's word. But I also said in a video last week that I do believe that, because at least law enforcement will know that metadata. Yeah, of course, as some people have said in reply to me saying, did have interrogated Candus to within an inch of her life. Some people have rightly said, how do we know that she hasn't been interrogated to within an inch of her life? She might have been, and that's a fair point. Anyway, not going to reopen that one, talked about that one enough now, but the facts we do have, the few facts we do have, and then the speculations we've got, you know, Jodie Sue's scream. Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson says it's unfounded. I don't know how he can say it's unfounded. Personally, I believe Jodie Sue heard something. Not necessarily Summer screaming, but I do believe her and her children heard something. Could it have been Candus screaming? Or Grandma? Or one of the boys, even, when they saw Summer unwell, or even worse? Yeah, that's possible, between 4:30 and 4:42. We've got reason to believe that Candus left the hill twice, as I discussed yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's main video, I'd go and watch at least this kind of second half, the last like 10-12 minutes of it, where I discuss the theory that does fit. I mean, I've discussed at length the wandering away and the possibility that the parents are innocent, other than Candus lying about how long Summer was missing. But it would mean Don's innocent, it would mean Grandma's innocent, it would mean the boys are innocent, but Candus is guilty of some kind of lie. Is that illegal? Probably, I don't know. But there is that second theory that also fits broadly the information that we do have. And that is the story that Grandma allegedly told her friend Ziggy Valero. Again, I will say, not Ziggy the YouTuber. She's a different woman. Ziggy Valero. She had an interview with Critical Care on her Patreon in September. She's recently had another interview with Just Care on YouTube. I talked about it back in September and said, you know, things that make you go, because it was interesting. The more I've mulled over the various theories, as I said yesterday, this is one that does fit. Is it possible that it's true? It is possible that it's true. It absolutely is. Chasing Truth made a community post. I trust Chasing Truth's judgment. Not that I necessarily believe her all the time, that's not what I'm saying. But I believe her judgment that she's not going to put out things just for sensationalism or salaciousness. If she's putting something out, it's because she's considering it. As I do. I put stuff out that I debunk myself. I do debunk myself regularly. I go around in circles to debunk myself. Because that's what you should do when you're looking for evidence and putting a theory together, including that evidence. Then you have to try to think of all the ways that that theory is not true, as well as all the things that support your theory. That's the way to do research. And no, that's not me being arrogant saying this. This is just a fact. This is how research is done in a scientific, methodical manner. To formulate a theory, you've got to try to debunk, to refute your theory. And most theories to do with somewhere else can be debunked. They can. And this one is no exception. It does fit the evidence that we've got. Can it be refuted? Yes, of course it can. How do we know that what Grandma told Ziggy Valero is true? Because that conversation was not recorded. She didn't know how to record, and that's fair enough. I wish it had have been. It would have been prime evidence for law enforcement. So we've only got Ziggy Valero's word for it. And I'm not saying she's lying, but it's quite possible that she could have been lied to. Even if it had been recorded and it was definitely Grandma's voice, still, I would have said, she could have been lying. But allegedly, the FBI have taken her phone to assess it. I don't know exactly when the FBI took the phone, whether they took it back in September when this information was new, or whether it's more recently when Ziggy Valero has been talking about it again, and it's hit the YouTube streets in a much more forceful way than it did in September, because in September it was on Patreon. Conversation between Critical Care and Ziggy Valero was played on YouTube, or at least some of it was, but it just didn't get the traction as a theory as it has done recently, because there's been numerous channels talking about it recently. I mean, another side note, I find it interesting that some theories don't take off, and then months later you get a new group of people into the case and they really fight for it. They really look at that theory with a lot of interest. So I think that's why this theory's made a resurgence. But as I keep saying, it fits the basic facts we know. So it can't be discounted. It can't. What if the FBI or have looked into this? What if Grandma's been questioned about it? I hope she has. But, that's stayed under the radar. Grandma's a very private person. And I'm guessing, that they haven't talked about all of the interviews that they've had with law enforcement. And Grandma is a very private person, so has she told them that? Has she said, yes, this is my truth? But Detective John Pruitt would know about that theory. Has it been discounted? Has Grandma told law enforcement that she was lying to Ziggy Valero? All of these questions we can pull up, and we just don't know. All I can say for now, sorry guys, it's really windy. Sorry if the sound is terrible. It is really windy. Just big gusts of it. So I guess it's one of those where it fits what we know, but it may not fit what law enforcement knows. We don't know. Finally, there was a video made yesterday saying that someone called Dawn Rainey is now the spokesperson for Candus Bly. Dawn is incarcerated, so she's the head of the family. What she says goes. And Tim Mullen, the Wells media manager, is out of the picture. Dawn Rainey is wanting the information that Tim downloaded off the phone. Do you remember that a few weeks ago? This is something now being disputed because Dawn Rainey has come into my Facebook group and said that they've used her picture and her name, but she has not made those statements. That it's another Dawn that made those statements, not her. So she's fuming that her picture's been used. I definitely would be. It has been reported to YouTube. I don't know whether that will mean the video gets taken down, but I'm just putting it out there that Dawn Rainey has commented that this is not her. So is it true that Tim Mullen's out and Candus has a new spokesperson? I don't know. But from the information I've received, it is not Dawn Rainey. So there's that. I've not put the message from Dawn Rainey here in the public because my Facebook is a private group, but you can request to join. So if you want to see the message by Dawn Rainey and, you know, look through the thread, which is pretty long now, then by all means request to join the group and you can look at it there. But I'm not going to post something that she's not put on YouTube as far as I know. She's only put it in Facebook, so I'm not going to transfer it over. It's up to her if she wants to. If she wants to comment on this video, that's fair enough. But I just thought I'd mention that. Don't know what to make of it, don't know if it's relevant. I don't know why Candus needs a spokesperson. Why on earth they needed a media manager. I mean, we've heard from Candus's own mouth, that she never trusted Tim Mullen, and it was all Don that used to talk to him and gave him the go-ahead to, you know, start the website. I wouldn't trust him either, to be fair, but that's just me. So I'm going to call it a day here. Hopefully the wind noise hasn't been too bad. So it's goodbye from Miss Tillington and Miss Cassie Springer. Bye guys.